Well, hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back and today I've got an interesting video for you. Today I want to talk about another offering from ThruNite. This is a headlamp model TH02 Outsider, and this is in the cool white variant. So I'm very excited to share this with you. I want to say thank you right off the bat for ThruNite for sending this out for review. Very nice. So let's open this up and see what's included in the package. So the first thing that you see right off the bat is this little card. It's basically telling us to screw down the light head and tail cap tightly before use, because they ship these in manual lockout mode. Now, the price point of this light at the time of me filming this video is around $50. So here is a quick look at the user's manual, and there's a little bit of contact information right there for ThruNite. So feel free to pause if you want to hang on to that information. And let's open this manual up and let's get to the technical parameters. This is probably my favorite page whenever I'm looking at a new light or a new product, because this page has all the information that I need to know about this product. There's the operation section that tells me how to turn this thing on and off. There's some warranty information. So very nice owner's manual. And then you see in here there is a warranty card. Talks a little bit about the warranty, things like that. And then of course you can see that things are packaged very well. Got a nice foam insert, so we'll set that over there. We'll set the light aside. You can see in the package that it comes with an extra mount. Okay, so this is rubber. Very nice, high quality. So very cool. And this will fit a lot of headlamps that have that 18650 diameter battery. So very cool. And the next thing that you see in the package is a USB 2 to micro USB charging cable. Very cool that it comes with a cable. Okay, so you can charge this headlamp on your wall outlet, your battery bank, your power station, your car, laptop computer, things of that nature, solar panel. So very nice again that they include that cable with the light. I think that's very cool. So the last couple things that you see in there is some silica gel, but we don't need that, of course. So we see here this little package has 2 spare O-rings, and it also has 2 charge port covers. So very nice that they include that. Now if you look at the light itself, you can see that it's very nice, very well done. There's a look at the LED. This operates on a CREE XHP50 LED, so very cool. And on the side of the light there is the power button, and that's also the mode button. And then of course this little flap opens up and you can see the micro USB charging port right there. So very cool. So as long as that flap is pushed and in place, this light carries an IPX8 waterproof rating. Okay, so if that flap's not in place, you're going to jeopardize that IPX8 waterproofness. So make sure that that flap is in place. So I like this mount. This thing is very tight on the light, and it gives us the ability to move this thing, to orient it to whatever position we want. So again, model TH02, and this light looks very similar, stunningly similar to the TH01. Okay, in fact the specs are very close. but this one does have different specs than the TH01. Now on the side here you can see this knurling is very nice. The build of the light is very nice. So we're going to open this up by unscrewing this battery cap here. This would be equivalent to a tail cap if it was a flashlight, right? But since we're dealing with a headlamp, well, I guess we could still call it a tail cap. You can see a very nice high quality spring there. Set that aside, and then inside you can see the battery. Again, this is an 18350 battery operating at 1100 milliamp hour, 3.7 volts, and this is a standard battery. It's got a positive on one end and a negative there. So very nice battery that they come here included with this light. Now looking inside the battery tube, you can see it's a nice quality build. The cool thing about this light is not only will it run on the 18350s, but it will also run on the RCR 123s or the CR 123 batteries. So very cool. So like we saw when we first opened this up, it said to make sure that we screw down the tail cap very tight. Now this tail cap is not magnetic or anything like that, and you can see the build quality. The thickness of this housing is very nice. So this thing is going to be extremely durable. In fact, it has a IPX8 waterproof standard, and the impact resistant of this light is impact down to 1.5 meters. Now you can see that O-ring right there. Okay, so when I screw this tail cap on, it goes over that O-ring. Bear with me here. There we go. It'll thread over that O-ring, and as I tighten this, it'll smash over that O-ring, and that creates the IPX8 waterproof standard. So very cool. This head strap is a standard head strap. It's got one that goes all the way around your head, and then it has a top strap that goes over the top of your head. I'm not gonna get into too much detail about that. But this light has many modes of operation. If I long press, and you see this light will turn on to a Firefly setting. This is really cool because this is 0.6 lumens. This is a good setting. It lasts a long time, 20 days to be honest with you, and very cool. So, and then if you push and hold, it'll cycle up to the next mode. This is low. This is 9 lumens, and that'll last 44 hours of runtime. That's a really good amount of time. If you want to convert those hours into days, we're looking at approximately 1.8 days or so. So don't quote me on that. But if you continue to push and hold the side switch there, you'll bump up to medium. Medium is 85 lumens. That's a really good setting. And the runtime is remarkable, 6.5 hours. Okay, now again, if you hold a little more, there's low, medium, high. Now we're dealing with 450 lumens. This will last 70 minutes, and that is 1.16 hours. Very cool. Now it does have a turbo function, so let's go to high for a second. Right now we're on low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Now from high, if I double press quickly, 1, 2, you'll see that it bumps up to turbo. Turbo is 1500 lumens. That is a very bright setting. That's for 155 seconds or 2.58 minutes. And then to prevent the light from overheating, it'll drop down to basically a little less than high. It'll drop down to 430 lumens, and then from there, from the step down, it'll last an additional 1 hour of runtime. So very cool and very neat to see that much power out of such a small light. Now if I triple click this side switch, 1, 2, 3, you'll see that the light will enter an SOS mode. Okay, so if it's an emergency or something like that, I need to get somebody's attention. This is going to be 450 lumens of output, SOS. It'll last for 185 minutes. Now, if you want to think about that as as hours, that comes out to 3.08 hours. So on the side switch here, depending on what mode you're on, it's not going to do it on Firefly. So if you go to the lowest setting, you'll notice nothing happens to the side switch. But if you go to low, medium, high, turbo, or SOS, you'll get an indicator. It's a battery level indicator. You see right now that the side switch is illuminated blue. Blue is telling us that we have between 3 and 4.2 volts in our battery, or 21% to 100% of our battery capacity. So if this light, this indicator turns red, that's telling us that our battery voltage dropped down between 2.8 and 3 volts, and our runtime is basically, or the remainder of our battery is somewhere between 11 and 20%. Now in the event that this turns flashing red, we need to get this thing on the charger. That's between 2.7 and 2.8 volts, or between 1 and 10%. So very cool. So again, to charge this light, we just open this flap, get this flap out of the way, and plug in the included micro USB cable, and we can charge this light. Very, very cool. Now some of the specs of this light, if you are on the brightest setting, this light will produce a throw of 118 meters. So it's a very nice throw. Now you can see that there is a glass lens there, and we're dealing with an eggshell or an orange pill type reflector. Again, that's a CREE LED. That's the XHP50. Very good LED. The candela rating of this light produces 3,520 candela. Again, it's impact resistant down to 1.5 meters, IPX8 waterproof down to 2 meters. We have the weight of the light is 52 grams, and the dimensions of the light is 64 millimeters wide, 33.6 at the highest point, and 28.5 millimeters is the diameter of the body of the light. So very, very cool light. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the IPX8 waterproof standard. So making sure that that charge port cover is in place, let's go ahead and drop it down in there. I have it on the lowest setting, so we can push and hold, and we will cycle through the modes. Low, medium, high. Let's double press and take a look at that turbo. 1, 2. There we go. Boy, that is bright. Triple press for the SOS. 1, 2, 3. There's the SOS, and then a single press turns the light off, and then again from here we can long press and turn the light on. I like this light. We are on Firefly, so we're not going to see a battery level indicator, but again, push and hold, and we'll just cycle very easily through the modes. And this is a very, very cool light. I like it a lot. I like the size of it. It's very small, very compact. It's going to be easy to handle. And then of course, when we unscrew the side a little bit, just a little bit, you'll notice that the button won't work. That's good, because we can put this in a pack and we don't have to worry about the light coming on while we're hiking down that trail, because we've put it in manual lockout mode. So very cool. One more time, let's tighten this down. Nice and tight. Turn the light on, kind of cycle through the modes and drop it down in the water. IPX8, this thing is passing these tests with flying colors. And that's to be expected out of a ThruNite. You know, they're just fantastic products. There's turbo. I mean, obviously you can see that this thing passed the IPX8 waterproof testing with flying colors. Okay, here we are on Firefly. Again, this is 0.6 lumens, and the runtime on this is 20 days. That is fantastic. This is a good setting if you're trying to find a splinter or look in your eye. Maybe you sat on a cactus or something like that. Very, very good setting, and the run times are fantastic. Now if we bump it up, we're going to come on up to low now. Now again, low is 9 lumens for 44 hours. Now you can kind of see what's going on. That's 1.8 days, so just short of 2 days. Now the camera doesn't really justify it too well, but this is a good amount of light. I can actually see, like, this would be good for walking the dog or something at night. If you're wanting to be a little bit conservative or trying to be a little bit discreet, you can see the blue power level indicator there. But this is a lot of light. I can clearly see my feet. If I'm hiking a trail or walking down the street or something like that, this is a good setting for that. Now we bump it up. Now we are on medium. This is 85 lumens. Again, 6.5 hours of runtime. That's a good amount of light. Now let's go on up to high. There's low, medium, there's high. 450 lumens for 70 minutes. 1.16 hours of runtime. So that's fantastic. Now again, let's double press. 1, 2. Turbo, 1500 lumens for 2.58 minutes. And then it drops down just a little lower than high. It'll drop down to 430 lumens for 1 hour. Now let's take a look at the SOS again. So a triple click, 1, 2, 3. Now we have SOS. Again, 450 lumens. This will last for just over 3 hours. Very nice setting. And this light just does a wonderful job. It's a good balance of weight and runtime. So fantastic light. ThruNite's done a good job with this one. I really like it. I think it's going to do great things. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. Well folks, my final thoughts are very simple. I think this is a fantastic light. Like I mentioned out during the night shots, I like the balance of this light, meaning it's got a small form factor, but yet it has a battery that's large enough and powerful enough to give it good run times and without being too heavy on your head. I like the fact that they include 2 replacement O-rings and 2 charge port covers, and this extra head strap is very nice. These things hold up pretty well, but I think it's a good gesture that they included a second one. And of course, a micro USB charging port cable included so we can charge the light. I think this is a great light. I think it's going to be doing a lot of good things for a lot of people. I like the color that it's red. It's a hard color to lose in the woods. I think it's just a fantastic light. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Like this video, share this video. I'll put links in the description box down below where you can find this light. And until next time, folks, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you then. Bye for now.